Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my market wrap for Monday, December 19th, 2016. Markets were fairly flat today, although they were higher up, rallying during the day. And then we had news of the Christine Lagarde um, court case, which she was found guilty of when she was the financial minister in Paris, of giving or allocating, I think it was 400 million euros to a certain company that was going to buy Adidas or had something to do with that. And it was, that kind of shook the markets up just a touch. I mean, you're talking about 10, 15 points here and there. And then you had a shooting of the Russian ambassador to Turkey in Turkey. And then you had a truck roll through a bunch of people in a shop in Germany. So it's been been a fairly crazy day. But all things considered, the markets were fairly flat. They were higher up, getting closer to 20,000, but again hit resistance at about 19,900, 19,960 or so on the Dow. So let's get into it, see how we did today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 39.65 points to 19,883.06, up 0.20%. The Nasdaq Composite closed up 20.28 points to 5457.44, or up 0.37%. The S&P 500 index closed up 4.46 points to 2252.53, or 0.20%. The Russell 2000 closed up 7.73 points to 1371.92, up 0.57%. Looking at some other indices today. The NASDAQ 100 triple Qs closed up 19.98 points to 4934.85, or up 0.41%. The S&P Midcap 400 index closed up 10.05 points to 1677.78, or 0.60%. The S&P Small Cap 600 Index closed up 3.80 points to 845.84, or 0.45%. The NYSE Composite Index closed up 3.41 points to 11,128.64, or 0.03%. So that tells you right there, the broader market, flat. It's not really too much there. Going on to the XAU, the Gold and Silver Index closed up 0.11 points to 73.52, or 0.15%. The SOX Index, the semiconductors, closed up 8.83 points to 909.68, or 0.98%, just under 1% there move. Semiconductors have been taking off lately. It's amazing, You never think you'd see this resurgence in technology. I always personally felt that technology, or the pace of technology, is plateaued. This is great. And finally, as far as the indices are concerned, the CBOE Volatility VIX down 0.47 points to 11.73, or 3.85%. That's good. Volatility is, the fear is starting to drop. We're down around 11 or 10. Starting to neutralize, which is a good thing. So, everything looks good. Market seems to be a little bit running out of steam, but that's okay. It's all right to have a pullback. Remember, we're going into the holiday shortened week. So, expect to see fairly quiet trading the rest of the week, really. Unless something really, really huge happens, it's going to be smooth. I got a gut feeling we might see 20,000 between Christmas and New Year's. Unless there's a big rally because of something happened, but we don't know. And that's the interesting thing about these markets, is you really don't know from day to day what happens. But it's exciting, I tell you. We can get those numbers change. That's what makes my blood boil. Anyway, let's go on to market internals. Volume was a little bit on the thin side today. On the New York Stock Exchange, total share volume traded 3.2 billion shares, of which 1.69 billion was advancing, 1.46 billion was declining, and 47 million were unchanged. Looking at the Nasdaq stock market, 1.6 billion total share volume today. 1.02 billion shares were advancing. 604 million were declining, and 33 million were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or AMEX, 139 million shares total share volume traded, of which 91 million was advancing, 44 million was declining, and 3.2 million were unchanged. Now, you're looking at 91 and 44. Yeah, it's about right. Some people might get confused by those numbers, but that just is what it is. Looking at market breadth, or the advanced decline line. On the New York Stock Exchange, 1,884 issues were advancing, 1,154 were declining, and 86 were unchanged. On the NASDAQ, 1,639 were advancing, 1,225 were declining, and 142 issues were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or AMEX, 177 issues were advancing, 146 were declining, and 20 issues were unchanged. Let's take a look at the currencies and commodities today versus the dollar. Off in the currencies, the euro, 103.95, getting closer to parity there, down 0.0055. The Japanese yen versus the dollar, 117.14, down 0.78. And my favorite currency, the British pound. Or English pound, I'm sorry. English. Has to be English. 1.2395, down 0.0090. The Australian dollar, 72.48, or 0.7248, I'm sorry, down 0.0055. The Swiss franc, 1.0275, up 0.0010. Going on to the commodities, selected futures contracts, West Texas Intermediate crude, down 9 cents to $51.81 a barrel, or down 0.17%. Brent North Sea crude, down 48 cents to $54.73 a barrel, or down 0.87%. Looking at the price of gold, up $3.80. I'm trying to read this and just as it is, but it's not. $3.80 an ounce to $1141.20. Price of silver, and that's gold and silver are traded in troy ounces, by the way, just if you didn't know. Price of silver, down 18 cents an ounce to $16.035. Got confused there. Down 1.11%. Gold is up 0.33%, by the way. Jeez. Hey guys, this is unedited. This is all, this is what it is. We all make mistakes. This is great though. I mean, I'm enjoying doing this for all you guys. Going to the equity index futures, the Dow Jones Industrial Future Contract on Globex, up 31 points to 19,825, or 0.16%. Looking at the S&P 500, up 3.5 points to 2258.75, or 0.16% as well. And finally, wrapping up with the 10-year bond, up 15/30 seconds, or almost half a point. Yield to maturity down to 2.537. So you can see there that there's a rotation a little bit going on. Even though the market was up, guess what? Bonds were up too. So a little bit of a safety play given what's going on. These are little nuances that you notice to see which way the market's going to go. Well, anyway, guys, I thank you for watching this, and I thank you for dealing with my mistakes, but I don't really want to edit it because I want to keep it as natural as possible. That's part of the fun, is making mistakes and laughing at them, right? Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, support me on Patreon, link in the description. Also, never give up on your dreams. Always find a way to get there. Persevere and fight through the obstacles. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.